Hey guys, welcome to another video for anatomy and physiology. In this video, I'm going to be looking at types of joint movements. So we're looking at the different skeletal actions that occur when your joints are moving. So one of the things that you'll notice on this video is that there's going to be muscles and muscle attachments. I'm not going to talk about, not to a great extent anyways, because we're not talking about the muscular system in terms of what muscles are involved in what movements. Right now, this video is dedicated primarily to just joint movement and all the different types that the body does. So let's go ahead and jump in. So the first one that you're looking at right here is joint elevation and joint depression. So this is probably one of the more simpler ones. Whenever you see the word elevation, that means it's lifting up. So for example, you'll notice that the shoulder, this is a shoulder shrug, right? So your shoulders are being elevated. So this is elevation, and then as it goes down, that is depression. So when anything goes down, it's depression or elevation. So another example of elevation, depression, you see here in the jaw. So the jaw is elevating, going up, and it's going to depress, going down. Okay, so it's going down, depression, going up, elevation. So sticking on the jaw here, you'll notice that the jaw is going to go out like an overbite, and then it's going to come back in. So when it goes out away from the body, okay, it's called protraction. So it's moving forward, thrusting forward. You can actually even thrust your neck forward, thrust your head. So thrusting forward is protraction, and going back is retraction, to take back, to retract something. Think about when you say something bad or you want to take it back, that's retraction, going back. And so we're looking at for eversion and inversion. So an inversion is when you're pulling the foot, when you're putting the plantar surface towards you medially. Think of doing the butterfly stretch when the foot's kind of facing, the bottom of the foot's facing in. So this is kind of the best example that I can find for that. So here what you have is a medial rotation also. So it's a combination here of medial rotation and inversion. So you notice the plantar, the bottom of the foot. Okay, the bottom of the foot is going to sort of face inward. It's going to face medially. And that's because of the medial rotation. Now notice the knee, it's rotating towards the medial part of the body, so that's a medial rotation. And when it's rotating out, away, that's a lateral rotation. So medial rotation in, lateral rotation out, also inversion. And so when the foot's turning so that it faces away laterally, that's an eversion. Okay, think evade, to get away. So it's eversion right here, lateral rotation. And then medial rotation gives you an inversion. So let's take a look now at another type of rotation here. We have here a pronation. Okay, so when the hand is facing up, now this is the palm facing up. That's a supination. So think soup, kind of cupping your hands like you're going to drink, like you're going to collect water and drink it in. You're going to sup it in. So that's supination, and that's pronation. Okay, now something that we'll talk about in more detail later on is how these joints, why these joints are able to do that. And that involves a lot of the bone structure and the engineering involved in how the bones work, but the radial head, okay, with the radial head and how it articulates with the humerus, and then the interosseous membrane that you have here, okay, but that's for later. This one we're just talking about joint movements. So again, pronation and rotating out, supination. Okay, now I don't have one for circumduction, but when you think circumduction, just kind of stretch out your arms. Okay, stretch out your arms like you're gonna fly, and then just kind of, I don't know if in PE class, whenever you're warming up your arms or your shoulders, you made little circles. You made circles with your hands stretched out. Okay, that's circumduction. And so again, this is an example of rotation. So next, we're looking at the posterior aspect of the body here, zooming out. So the elevation of the arm. Okay, so that's also pulling the arm away from the body. Okay, so that's moving away from the midline of the body. So the midline or the axial, the spine is your midline. Okay, that's an imaginary line, and or pulling towards. Okay, so pulling away, taking something away is abducting it, right? So this is abduction, and then pulling towards the midline is adduction. You're adding to the body. ADD. There's your abduction, away, and then towards is adduction. Think adding. We just have a few more to go here. We're looking at the foot. So notice how the foot, again, this is the plantar back here. This is your plantar fasciitis right here. Okay, so that's looking at the bottom of the foot. And then you have the dorsal. Think like with a dolphin, a dorsal fin at the top. So this is the dorsal aspect, and then this is the plantar aspect. And so for the next type of joint movement, we have dorsal flexation. So the dorsal up top, when it flexes, this angle closes, dorsal flexation. And then when the plantar flexes, it opens down, it points to toes. That's called plantar flexation. So plantar flexation going down, and then you have dorsal flexation going up. Dorsal flexation going up, plantar going down, pointing the toe. And then we have, last but not least, we have flexation and extension. So again, flexation is when the angle between in the joints between two bones closes or opens up, like it is right here. So to flex is to close the angle. So the angle is decreasing, right? Think geometry. And now the angle is going to increase. Okay, that's extension. Flexation to close, extension to open up. And here's another example of flexation. Okay, so this is flexation of the neck, and then opening the angle, extension of the neck. Like, oh my goodness, right? You guys know how that feels. So this is flexation and extension. Okay, well that does it for all the types of joint movements. Again, remember that I didn't really get into too much detail with the bones and how they articulate with other bones or the muscles involved, because this one is just talking about joint movements and the different types that we discussed in lecture on Thursday. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and good luck in your studying.